Imperial College, I imagine, will not be the most kind of riotous place, because Imperial College people work. They come here to work, and that's very noticeable. And there used to be a little story that our lecturer told us, Vibrations and Waves lecturer told us. I think the first day we arrived here, and he said, a lecturer comes into the lecture theatre in Oxford and says, "Good morning," and they say, "Good morning." And a lecturer comes into the lecture theatre in Cambridge and he says, "Good morning," and they say, "Good morning, sir." A lecturer comes into the lecture theatre at Imperial College and says, "Good morning," and they write it down. I have two sets of experiences here, of course. You know, I have the long experience of the 1970s when I was an undergraduate and a postgraduate. You know, I was 3 years undergraduate in physics. I was 4 years postgraduate, where I was over in Prince's Gate, but obviously still came here as part of the union. So, you know, in a way, those old memories are the strongest, but I came back 30 years later to finish off the PhD, and I was here again. I was a student. I kind of checked my identity at the door, in a sense. You know, I wasn't a rock star anymore. I was a student for a year, and I took it very seriously. I had to really put the whole of my life on hold to be here, and it was worth it. It was great. You know, I had fantastic supervision in the astrophysics building from Professor Rowan Robinson, who was head of astrophysics at that time. He's just retired. So I was very lucky to be able to do that. How do I feel being here? It's nice. It still seems familiar, but it brings back a lot of stuff. You know, I was happy here, but I was also very lonely here, I think, strangely enough. And I was one of those people who worked very hard. I also played very hard. You know, I was always playing guitar and stuff, but I wasn't really a social animal. Yeah, as I remember it, in those days, this was the main refectory. This is where we had our dinner, and I remember stuff like being dared to ask out this girl, and she became a sort of lifelong friend. It's very strange little things that are in here. But this was the sandwich bar, so we'd come here every lunchtime to eat sandwiches in a very kind of boring way, and we would always sit in the same place, and our little clique from physics would always sit over here, and there was a clique from biology that would always sit over there. And I remember being totally in love with this girl from biology, and I never ever talked to her, which is the weirdest thing, isn't it? You know, so you probably think I'm a rock star and, you know, this very confident person, but I wasn't. You know, I was here very much as a student, and sort of, I think, feeling rather enclosed by the system. So I would say to anyone who's here now, don't let yourself be enclosed. You know, make sure that you realise your personal potential as well as fulfilling the expectations of the people around you. It's not just about academic success, it's about a lot more things than that. It's about finding yourself. So I didn't find myself quick enough, really, and I think I went through a lot of this time a little bit blinkered. And I suppose it's lucky for me that the Queen thing did happen, because it gave me such a different vista to life.